Chosen one, pause for a moment. You didn't just scroll to this message, you were summoned here. Heaven aligned your timing, because something about you has been shifting, and your spirit knows it. Have you noticed how the atmosphere changes when you walk into a room? How people pause, stare, or stumble over their words? That's not coincidence, that's recognition. They're not just seeing your face, they're reacting to the light resting upon it. The radiance you carry isn't makeup or confidence, it's confirmation. Heaven's fingerprint is upon you, and your very reflection has become a living prophecy. What others mistake for beauty is actually divine evidence that favor has found you. Conversations are happening about you right now, not because you're seeking attention, but because your presence has become too powerful to ignore. Some admire you, some envy you. Others don't even understand why they can't stop watching. It's because your countenance carries a frequency that disturbs darkness and awakens light in others. Even your silence preaches, your smile carries healing, your eyes reveal truth. And your glow, chosen one, is not of this world. Heaven has placed its mark on your reflection, and creation is responding. Doors that were closed are beginning to open. Delays are turning into acceleration. Opportunities are aligning, not because of who you know, but because of who knows you. You are stepping into divine inheritance, walking in a season where favor is effortless and blessings are magnetic. The same God who once said, "Arise, shine, for your light has come," is speaking that word over you right now. Take a deep breath and receive it, because your glow is not just decoration, it's declaration. It announces that your appointed time has arrived. And if you feel this message confirming what your spirit already sensed, don't just listen, participate. Type 77 inches the comments right now as a sign that you're in alignment with this word. That number isn't random, it's prophetic. It signals agreement with heaven, a declaration that you're ready to walk in the light assigned to your name. And to every soul moved to go deeper, to every heart that feels led, your super thanks isn't just support, it's seed. Every offering, big or small, helps this mission reach more chosen ones, awakening to their purpose. Heaven takes note of those who give to spread the light. So thank you truly. You are not just an audience, you are part of this divine movement. Your faith fuels this fire, your presence raises the frequency, and your engagement helps other souls remember who they are. Now be still for a moment. The Holy Spirit is near. Angels are aligning, and the light resting upon your face is proof abundance has found you. Tell me, chosen one, have you felt it lately, that quiet power in your glow that makes the world stop and listen, as if heaven itself is speaking through you? God's chosen ones, how your face is impacting every chosen one. Take a breath. You can feel it, can't you? The atmosphere shifting ever so slightly when you walk into a room, the silence bending around your presence. The lingering glances, not of judgment, but of recognition. Something about you makes the air pause. People can't name it, yet they sense it. You've noticed it too, the quiet curiosity in their eyes, the way conversations soften when you arrive. They are not seeing your features, they are beholding a signature. Heaven has written something sacred across your face. The reflection staring back at you each morning is not merely your image, it is a message. You have been marked, and the world, finally, is beginning to notice. The light that rests upon you is not cosmetic, it's covenantal. It is not born of makeup nor sunlight, but of endurance, the invisible radiance forged in the furnaces of faith. It is the residue of every tear you turned into prayer, every night you bled silently and still chose to believe. You survived fires that could have disfigured your spirit, yet instead they refined it. That glow upon you, it's the evidence of consecration, not comfort. When the Apostle Paul wrote in 2 Corinthians 4-6, "For God, who said, let light shine out of darkness, made his light shine in our hearts. He wasn't speaking metaphorically. That light now radiates through you. Every trial carved channels for divine luminosity to flow through your countenance. Do you remember those nights when you wondered if God had forgotten your name, when the mirror reflected not hope but exhaustion? You whispered prayers that seemed to vanish into ceilings. Yet heaven was listening not to your words, but to your endurance. God was shaping you layer by layer, polishing the unseen architecture of your soul until your reflection began to speak the language of resilience. Each scar you carry is a verse written by His hand. Scripture not on paper, but on skin. Like the prophet Isaiah declared, "I have engraved you on the palms of my hands," Isaiah 49:16. So too has He engraved His mercy upon your face. That is why people pause. They cannot explain it, but they feel peace when you enter. They sense a strange familiarity, as if eternity itself brushed past them. What is it they're really seeing? It's not your beauty that moves them, it's the frequency of grace vibrating through your being. Physicists call it resonance, when two frequencies align and amplify each other. Spiritually, that's what's happening when your soul resonates with heaven. You have become an instrument tuned to divine frequency, and the world feels that harmony before you ever speak. In Renaissance times, the painter Caravaggio once said that true light does not reveal the perfect, it redeems the broken. He painted saints with dirt on their feet and glory on their faces, because holiness has always looked like humanity touched by heaven. That is you, heaven's art upon earth's canvas. And what if, just what if your face was never meant to attract, but to awaken? What if its quiet glow is not for admiration, but for alignment? For through you, others begin to remember their own divine reflection. Do you realize that your silence now speaks louder than your striving ever did? God has trained your presence to announce what words cannot. Psalm 34:5 says, "Those who look to Him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame." Your radiance is evidence that shame has lost its voice in you. There was a time when invisibility felt like punishment, but it was actually preparation. The sculptor hides his masterpiece under cloth until the unveiling. God was sculpting your soul beneath layers of obscurity. Every unnoticed act of kindness, every unseen prayer, every private surrender, all of it became the hidden scaffolding of your divine architecture. And now as that veil lifts, heaven whispers, "Arise, shine, for your light has come." Isaiah 60:1. There's something profoundly mysterious about this unveiling, this sacred visibility. God doesn't announce His chosen with noise. He reveals them through presence. You've stepped into that season where visibility is not about platform, but purpose. The composer, Ludwig van Beethoven, who wrote symphonies he could no longer hear, once said, "I will seize fate by the throat." You too have done this, seizing despair and transforming it into destiny. And now, heaven is playing your theme through the melody of your existence. The music others hear in you is not volume, but vibration, the hum of divine persistence. Romans 8:18 reminds us, "The sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed in us." You are that revelation in progress, living proof that pain, when purified by purpose, becomes glory in disguise. One might ask, if my light truly comes from endurance, what happens when the world misreads it as arrogance? If others see your shine but not your story, will you still walk humbly in your calling? These questions are not burdens, they are refinements. They remind you that your glow was never for display, it was for direction. The psychologist Carl Jung once wrote, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And that is what God has done. He has brought you into alignment with your original design. You are no longer trying to find yourself. You are beginning to reveal yourself, the self He imagined before time began. And when people feel peace in your presence, remember, it's not you they're drawn to. It's the echo of eternity reverberating through you. That is why Jesus said in Matthew 5:16, Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. The Holy Spirit has chosen that your presence will speak before your voice does. You are heaven's gentle announcement, a walking resonance of divine assurance. The glow upon your face is the sermon your life preaches without words. So, chosen one, breathe again. The world is ready to witness what God has been writing upon you all this time. You are not here to impress, you are here to embody. And as you continue your journey, may your reflection remind others of the divine fingerprints upon their own. Share your story below, your moments of hidden grace, your seasons of silent becoming, for we walk this path together as carriers of light in a dim world. Because when the chosen rise, they don't just illuminate themselves, they awaken nations. That's why lately, doors have begun to open without reason, haven't they? Opportunities arriving not by your striving, but by divine synchronization. People who once walked past you now recall your name with sudden clarity. It isn't coincidence, it's alignment. Heaven's calendar has turned to your page. Those years of silence were not punishment, they were preparation. Every delay, every rejection, every unanswered prayer was part of a choreography. You couldn't yet hear the sacred timing of a God who hides his treasures before unveiling them. You see, you were never overlooked. You were overshadowed under the wing of a wisdom that needed you to mature in stillness before releasing your sound. What felt like burial was, in truth, planting. The soil of obscurity was your sanctuary. Beneath that quiet darkness, roots of resilience were stretching, unseen but strong. Even the psalmist once whispered in solitude, "I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry." Psalm 40:1. You've lived that verse, haven't you? When the waiting stretched longer than your strength, when faith felt like fog, and when the promise looked impossibly distant, God was closer than your breath, tuning your soul to his rhythm. You weren't hidden to be forgotten. You were hidden to be formed. A seed buried in the ground doesn't scream for light. It trusts the process. And when it rises, it no longer resembles what it once was. That's you, now unrecognizable to your past, radiant with purpose. Your reflection itself has become a prophetic declaration, God kept me. I've walked through that wilderness too, the seasons of invisibility where nothing moved and the silence felt suffocating. I thought I was buried beneath disappointment, but I was being planted in destiny. It took me years to understand that sometimes heaven's greatest miracles are disguised as delays. Romans 8:28 reminds us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him." That includes the things that broke you, the moments that confused you, the doors that slammed shut when you were certain they'd lead to purpose. None of it was wasted. Every no was protection from premature exposure. There's a principle in physics called potential energy, the stored power of position. When an object is held back, energy accumulates. The longer the hold, the greater the release. Spiritually, that's what's happening now. The seasons that restrained you were charging your purpose with momentum. The release is not random, it's precise. The divine hand is lifting you now, not because you're finally ready to be seen, but because you've become strong enough to stay when you're seen. In art, Michelangelo once described his sculpting process by saying, "I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free." For years, that's what God has done with you. Every trial, every silence, every loss was his chisel, removing what wasn't you until only divine essence remained. Do you realize how sacred that is? The pain you endured became part of the masterpiece. You thought you were being reduced, you were being revealed. You thought you were falling behind, you were being aligned. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." This is that time, not a moment of sudden luck, but of sacred unveiling. Heaven's light is now catching the edges of what has been refined in secret. That's why people who once ignored you suddenly remember you. They are responding to a divine magnetism. Your frequency has changed. It's like the resonance of a tuning fork. When struck by the right vibration, it sings. Your soul has been struck by purpose, and everything around you is beginning to harmonize. Opportunities, relationships, timing, all aligning to the sound of your obedience. There's a story from the world of botany that always moves me, the Chinese bamboo tree. After planting, it shows no visible growth for 5 years, yet beneath the soil, its roots spread wide and deep. Then, in the 5th year, it shoots up nearly 90 feet in just weeks. The question isn't when it grew, it's where it grew first. You too have been growing where no one could see. And now, like that bamboo, your growth will seem sudden to others, but you'll know it's been years in the making. But let me ask you something sacred. When this unveiling accelerates, will your heart stay rooted in the soil that once held you? When the applause grows louder than the whisper of God, will you still choose stillness? Because the same hand that promoted you is the one that planted you. In the Baroque hymn, Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, Johann Sebastian Bach composed melodies that weave humility and glory together, notes that rise only to descend again in reverence. That's how the chosen ones walk, ascending with grace, descending with gratitude. 1 Peter 5-6 says, Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. You are in that due time now. But humility will keep you luminous, not just visible. And here lies one of the deepest lessons I've learned. Divine timing is never about readiness, it's about resonance. God doesn't ask, Are you prepared? He asks, Are you aligned? Because alignment ensures that when he reveals you, the world doesn't just see you, they see him through you. Your reflection now is a living testimony. Every scar a verse, every wrinkle a witness. The light in your eyes is not the light of arrival, but of revelation. So when people start to mention your name again, don't shrink in false humility. Stand tall, not in pride, but in purpose. Because you carry proof that silence was sacred, that hiddenness was holy. Chosen one, you are the bamboo breaking ground, the sculpture unveiled, the song finally heard. The time has come. Walk into it without fear. And if this resonates with your soul, share your own story of divine timing below, so that others walking through silence may know they are not buried, they are being planted. When God calls something to bloom, it doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for applause, nor does it check the calendar to see if others approve. It simply unfolds, quietly and inevitably, at the appointed time. That's what's happening to you now, chosen one. What once felt random is revealing divine precision. The invisible threads of your waiting, your weeping, your wondering, all of it have been woven into the tapestry of timing that now hangs in heaven's gallery, signed with your name. People sense it even before you speak. They cannot explain it, but something inside them stirs when they see you. They feel the weight of something sacred in your presence, as if the air itself remembers who you are. They are not meeting a face, they are encountering heaven's fingerprint. You have become walking confirmation that divine timing is real. The same spirit that sustained you in silence is now sending you into visibility. But this isn't about fame, it's about impact. It's not about attention, it's about assignment. The light on you was never for decoration, it was always for direction. You are not being noticed, you are being revealed. Heaven does not spotlight performers, it illuminates vessels. The world may call it success, but heaven calls it stewardship. And you, chosen one, are being entrusted with visibility that your humility has earned. Isaiah 60:2 declares, Darkness shall cover the earth, but the Lord will arise upon you, and his glory will be seen upon you. This is that moment. The glory resting on you is not about brightness, it's about bearing. You are carrying something that can no longer be contained. And if you sense that trembling inside your spirit, that quiet awe that makes you still your heart, it's because you realize that what's happening around you isn't a spotlight, it's a summoning. You are not being shown, you are being sent. John 15:16 reminds us, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that will last." The fruit, now visible in your life, was planted long ago in your obedience. When God calls something to bloom, it blooms in impossible places, deserts, ruins, forgotten soil. Just like the resurrection fern, which looks lifeless until the rain awakens it, the world may see sudden life, but heaven sees sustained faith. That's you, chosen one, faith reborn, faith rehydrated. For years, you thought you were surviving the silence, but now heaven reveals that you were maturing in mystery. The Spirit was performing a kind of divine photosynthesis within you, transforming every hidden pain into holy energy. That is why your presence carries warmth now. You radiate a light that can't be seen, only felt. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke once said, "The future enters into us long before it happens." What you are stepping into has already been forming inside you for years. Every unseen prayer was a seed of tomorrow. Every "not yet" was really a soon, wrapped in divine patience. So yes, chosen one, the wait is over, but the waiting was never wasted. It sculpted your strength, refined your empathy, and deepened your discernment. You no longer crave the stage, because you've learned to carry the sanctuary. And here lies one of life's quiet revelations. Visibility requires virtue. Revelation without humility leads to ruin. But you, chosen one, have been tempered by time so that your shine would not blind you. When the world applauds, will you still kneel? When opportunity calls, will you still wait for the whisper before the offer? Every true calling still begins in quiet. Søren Kierkegaard once wrote, "God creates out of nothing. Wonderful, you say. Yes, but he does what is still more wonderful. He makes saints out of sinners." You are the evidence of that miracle grace wrapped in skin, holiness emerging from heartbreak. 2 Corinthians 3:18 tells us, "And we all, who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory, are being transformed into his image with ever-increasing glory." You are that unveiling, not perfection, but progression. Every time you forgive, every time you love when you could have left, every time you rise again, the image of God grows clearer upon your face. Your reflection tells stories your words never could. The glow you carry is a language only heaven fully understands, a dialect of devotion and endurance. It's the light of Lazarus, the courage of Esther, the resilience of Ruth, and the faith of Job, all interwoven into your countenance. And here's the mystery. Visibility is not the reward. Impact is. The stage will fade, but legacy remains. So when people see you now, when doors open, when favor flows, and when alignment accelerates, remember, the light was never about you. It is about the glory of God refracted through your surrender. The composer Claude Debussy once said, "Music is the space between the notes. Your life is that music. The pauses, the silences, the waiting rooms, they were never empty. They were divine rests in the symphony of your becoming." Romans 8:30 declares, "Those he predestined, he also called. Those he called, he justified. Those he justified, he glorified." You are walking in that sequence right now. Predestined, called, justified, glorified. Not for attention, but for assignment. The light on you is not accidental. It is acknowledgement, heaven's confirmation that your becoming has borne fruit. So as you step into this season, carry this truth gently. You don't need to try to shine, you already do. Your presence itself is prophecy. And if this message found you at just the right moment, it wasn't random, you were meant to hear it. You are heaven's reminder that patience is never wasted and purpose is never late. Share your story in the comments below. Tell us what God is awakening in you, and let this space become a gathering of chosen ones walking in divine rhythm. To every heart watching, whether you've supported through a super thanks, a comment, a prayer, or simply by showing up, thank you. You are part of this light. May the peace that surpasses understanding, as written in Philippians 4:7, settle upon your spirit tonight. May your face reflect the quiet joy of one who knows the wait is over, the promise is alive, and the light was never accidental. You are seen, you are chosen, you are sent. It's not a rumor, it's an announcement. Heaven has decided it's time. Chosen one, listen carefully, because what you are sensing right now is not random information, it is activation. The tremor in your spirit, the restlessness that feels like waiting, the sudden attention from unexpected people and places, the pull between what was and what is becoming, all of it is divine transition. You are not confused, you are being called forward. Heaven is shifting you from hiddenness to honor. The quiet years are about to speak, and the seeds you sowed in silence are about to echo across every room you enter. What once was ignored will now be amplified. What seemed like isolation was incubation. You haven't been walking through a setback, you've been walking through a setup. Every closed door, every delayed opportunity, and every lonely night was part of heaven's architecture. God didn't forget you, He fortified you. He wasn't withholding, He was preparing structural strength for the weight of the glory that's about to rest upon you. In the language of builders, foundations are always laid underground where no one can see. You were not buried in obscurity, you were anchored in purpose. And now the unveiling has begun. The glow people notice is not merely beauty, it's breakthrough. It is evidence that heaven has touched earth through you. When you enter a room, something unseen begins to move. The air recalibrates, the atmosphere steadies, and conversations pause. Some can't explain it, they just feel safer near you. Others can't look at you for too long because your presence awakens conviction. Yet some are drawn and cannot look away because your light reminds them of the hope they once buried. That's what divine favor looks like in motion, unspoken influence. You have become a living sermon. Your stillness preaches peace. Your patience testifies of power. Your silence carries authority. But hear this truth carefully, chosen one. You are not being elevated for applause. You are being positioned for assignment. Heaven promotes not for entertainment, but for execution of purpose, of compassion, of divine design. The same light that reveals you will also refine you. Visibility is not a reward, it is a responsibility. God is trusting you to represent the fragrance of heaven on the soil of earth. That means your steps must now be guided not by pressure, but by presence. Walk differently, not in fear, but in discernment. Some will come to celebrate you, and others will come to study you. Not everyone drawn to your glow will understand its source. Even Christ, when transfigured on the mountain, was surrounded by both wonder and misunderstanding. So guard your peace, stay humble, let your light remain a reflection, not a performance. Proverbs 27:21 says, "The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but people are tested by their praise." The attention you receive in this season will be the test that reveals your maturity. Do not rush to explain your favor. Let the mystery remain holy. The people meant to walk with you will discern the source of your glow. Those who do not were never meant to understand it. Even the stars do not announce themselves. They simply shine. You are learning the sacred art of silent radiance. 1 Peter 1-7 speaks of faith being refined like gold in the fire, so that its worth may be revealed. You've walked through that fire already. The very things that should have burned you instead baptized you. The flames became your filter. What was not of God fell away, leaving behind only what could carry His light. That's why you no longer sparkle with effort, you emanate with essence. There's a truth I've learned about divine elevation. Heaven never lifts you up without first grounding you. The deeper your roots in humility, the higher your reach in glory. The sculptor Auguste Rodin once said that art is the shadow of God's perfection passing through the human soul. That is you now, a living sculpture carved by trials and lit by grace. Every rejection was a stroke of refinement. Every hidden year, a chapter in the architecture of your calling. Even science hints at this mystery. Physicists speak of potential energy, the invisible power stored in stillness, waiting for the precise moment to be released. That's your story. Heaven has held you in tension, gathering momentum, and now the release has begun. You are not moving randomly, you are unfolding according to divine geometry. Isaiah 49:2 declares, "He made my mouth like a sharpened sword. In the shadow of his hand he hid me. He made me into a polished arrow and concealed me in his quiver. For years you were the arrow, in the quiver polished, hidden, waiting. And now, at the perfect moment, you are being launched." But remember, chosen one, that exposure requires endurance. Visibility is not an escape from process, it is the continuation of it. The higher the mountain, the thinner the air, and those who rise must learn to breathe differently. As you ascend, humility becomes your oxygen. There's a reason why Christ's glory was revealed both on the mountain of transfiguration and on the hill of Calvary. The first showed the beauty of divine light, the second proved the strength of divine love. Both were revelation, both were victory. The same is true for you. Your glow is not meant to impress, it is meant to redeem. So guard your spirit with wisdom. The same eyes that admire you may one day test your authenticity. The same doors that open may also demand discernment. You do not need to fear this, only to remember that favor is safest when anchored in faith. Philippians 2:13 reminds us, "It is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose." That means you don't have to manage the miracle, just steward it. You don't need to prove your anointing, you only need to protect your alignment. And when the noise of recognition begins to rise, return often to the secret place. Let your strength come from stillness, because your power was never born from performance, it was born from presence. The quiet you once resented will now become your refuge. Chosen one, the unveiling has begun. You are stepping into a season where heaven's timing meets earth's readiness. You are no longer waiting for validation, you are walking in revelation. The glow upon you is not accidental, it is evidence. The same spirit that sustained you in shadows is now sending you into sunlight, not to display glory but to distribute it. You are heaven's announcement in motion, God's architecture alive in human form. So walk with grace, speak with wisdom, move with reverence, and wherever you go, let your life whisper what words never could, that divine timing is real, that favor has form, and that the light upon you was never accidental. Stay guarded, stay aligned. The atmosphere is changing around you, and you can feel it. I know what it feels like to live in that shift. When I first stepped out of silence into visibility, I thought it was all about opportunity. I thought favor meant freedom, that the doors were opening so I could finally arrive. But heaven corrected me. It wasn't about opportunity, it was about stewardship. The light was never mine to own, it was mine to carry. The favor on my life wasn't given for fame, but for function, to reveal what obedience looks like when it's anointed. And now, chosen one, you're stepping into that same revelation. God is expanding your influence, not to inflate your ego, but to extend his kingdom through your obedience. What you're hearing about yourself, the whispers and mentions in unexpected places, don't be afraid of them. Heaven is using even the chatter to circulate your name into rooms you haven't walked into yet. Conversations are shifting toward you in your absence. It's not gossip, it's groundwork. The Spirit is announcing you quietly before man does publicly. That's how divine promotion works. It starts in whispers and ends in wonder. Chosen one, the stage you're about to step onto wasn't built by applause. It was built by your prayers, your tears, your perseverance. You've already paid the price in private, and now God is about to make the proof public. But remember this is not the moment to shrink, to second guess, or to self-sabotage. This is the moment to stand steady, surrendered, and sure. You carry something the world didn't give you, and therefore the world cannot take it away. Heaven's hand is resting upon your reflection, and everything that once seemed ordinary about you is now becoming prophetic. This is your time not to prove yourself, but to reveal God through your presence. The world may not understand it, but they will feel it. You've entered the season where everything about your presence speaks before you do. The world is beginning to witness what heaven has known all along. There is something divine resting upon you. That's why you can't move the same way you used to. You can't blend in anymore. The silence that once protected you has now become your spotlight. The glow you carry isn't decoration, it's declaration. It tells the truth of what you've survived. People sense it, even when they can't explain it. They may not have words for it, but their spirits recognize it. You've been touched by something sacred, and that touch has changed your frequency. Some feel peace when you enter the room, others feel conviction. There are those who are drawn to your light because they are starving for their own. None of it is coincidence, it's calling. You were never meant to be invisible forever. Heaven is unveiling you now because your visibility serves a higher purpose. The psalmist wrote, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Psalm 23:5. That is what's happening now. God is preparing the table, not to humiliate those who doubted you, but to demonstrate his faithfulness through you. Your rise is not revenge, it's revelation. I remember when God first began to elevate me, and how the atmosphere around me began to shift. I wasn't doing anything differently, but people looked at me with recognition in their eyes, as if they were remembering something they had never been told. They didn't know my story, but they could feel my oil. That's what's happening to you. You're radiating what can't be bought, copied, or mimicked. The oil you carry was extracted through pressure, pain, and persistence. 2 Corinthians 4:8-9 describes this beautifully. We are pressed on every side, but not crushed, perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not abandoned. That pressing was never meant to destroy you, it was designed to distill you. Oil only comes from olives that have been crushed. Glory only rests upon hearts that have been surrendered. That's why your glow feels different. It's consecrated, not cosmetic. You didn't chase this light, you cultivated it in the dark. Every tear became a drop of anointing, every disappointment a new depth of devotion. The fragrance of heaven now lingers wherever you go. But be wise, chosen one. Not everyone drawn to your glow will understand its source. Some will come to learn, others will come to take. That's why discernment is your shield. Matthew 7:6 warns, "Do not cast your pearls before swine." You must learn when to speak and when to stay silent, when to pour and when to preserve. The same stillness that once felt like isolation is now your place of preservation. Divine promotion often arrives disguised as disruption. Before God expands your influence, he expands your inner capacity. Before he reveals you to nations, he reveals you to yourself. That's why this season feels both exhilarating and uneasy. The tension you feel isn't warfare, it's stretching. Heaven is enlarging your territory, both around you and within you. Isaiah 54:2 says, "Enlarge the place of your tent, stretch your curtains wide, do not hold back." God is stretching you to hold more glory, more grace, more responsibility. And through it all, humility must remain your garment, because the higher the elevation, the deeper the roots must go. Jesus himself washed the feet of those who would later fail him, proving that true greatness still kneels. John 13:14-15 reminds us, "If I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet." Let that be the rhythm of your rise. Ascend in purpose, descend in service. You are entering a season where your presence becomes your ministry. Before you say a word, atmospheres will adjust. Before you arrive, preparation will begin. That's what divine authority feels like. It doesn't shout, it settles. People will feel a strange mixture of awe and peace around you, as though heaven itself walked into the room. So, walk gently. Carry the weight of glory with reverence. Don't explain your oil, embody it. Don't advertise your favor, steward it. And when recognition comes, lift it back up to the one who anointed you. For the same God who hid you in silence is now revealing you in splendor, and the same Spirit that announces you will sustain you. You've entered the moment where your reflection is no longer ordinary, it's prophetic. The same eyes that once looked past you now see light. The same world that overlooked you now feels your influence. The silence that once defined you has become your song, and as you step forward, remember this: divine unveiling is never about spotlight, it's about surrender. So, stay guarded, stay aligned. The oil upon you is holy, the light around you is purpose. The season you are stepping into was written before time began, and now heaven is simply letting the world catch up to what it has always known about you. You are seen, you are chosen, you are ready. And now it's beginning to overflow. You can feel it, can't you? The blessings, the opportunities, the divine momentum gathering around you. Everything that was once still is now stirring. But listen closely, chosen one. Not all attention is affirmation. Some are drawn to your light because they need direction, but others are drawn because they desire control. The same glow that comforts one heart may convict another. That's why discernment is your shield in this season. You can't afford to mistake curiosity for covenant or attention for assignment. Don't let fascination become infiltration. Don't trade your anointing for approval. You've spent too many years cultivating peace to let noise steal your clarity now. Protect the sacred glow that rests upon your life. The enemy doesn't always come with opposition. Sometimes he comes disguised as opportunity. Remember how Nehemiah refused to come down from the wall when distraction called his name. He said, "I am doing a great work and cannot come down." Nehemiah 6:3. That's your declaration now. You are doing a great work. Stay on the wall. Guard what you've built in prayer. There is a divine strategy unfolding in ways your eyes can't yet see. Heaven is using your very presence as a doorway, a passage for grace to flow through. You won't need to chase what's next, because what's next is already moving toward you. The alignments, the partnerships, the invitations, they're not coincidences, they're coordinates. Heaven is orchestrating connections that fit your calling like keys to a lock. And when those doors swing open, it won't be because you forced them, it will be because you were faithful when no one was watching. But hear this carefully. This overflow isn't about opportunities, it's about assignments. God is positioning you in places where your mere presence will unlock favor for others. You are not just being promoted, you are being planted. Your visibility is the vehicle through which others will encounter their own awakening. Genesis 12:2 reminds us of the original covenant. I will bless you, and you will be a blessing. That's your current reality. You are walking evidence that blessing and purpose are never meant to end with the receiver. They are designed to multiply through obedience. Chosen one, you are someone's answered prayer in motion. Even now, heaven is aligning your steps with people who have been crying out for help, hope, or healing. You may not know their names yet, but the Spirit does. Every delay, every detour, every unseen preparation has been leading you toward divine intersections where your obedience will unlock breakthrough for another. When you arrive, it will seem as though the table was already set, the conversation already waiting, the timing already perfected. That's what it looks like when heaven choreographs destiny. There's a law in physics called resonance. When one object begins to vibrate at a certain frequency, another nearby begins to move in harmony without even touching. Spiritually, that's what's happening right now. Your obedience is causing things in your environment to align. Doors, hearts, and opportunities are resonating with your frequency of faith. You don't need to manipulate outcomes. You simply need to maintain your alignment. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Your heart is the control center of your anointing. Protect it as you would a flame in the wind. As the overflow begins, so does the testing. The glow you carry will attract both assignment and distraction, both angels and agendas. Stay grounded in the quiet place. Let stillness remain your strategy. The higher God lifts you, the more essential your roots become. Remember how Jesus often withdrew to lonely places to pray, even when the crowds pressed in around him. That wasn't avoidance, it was alignment. The strength of his public ministry was sustained by the depth of his private intimacy. Psalm 91:1 whispers this truth: "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." That secret place will be your shelter. Go there often. It's where your clarity will sharpen and your peace will be renewed. For in every season of expansion, there is also the temptation of exhaustion. Favor can fill your schedule faster than faith can refill your soul, unless you return continually to the well of His presence. You are walking into a divine paradox: greater reach, but deeper dependence; more influence, yet more invisibility before God. He's expanding your platform, but anchoring your posture. The greater the assignment, the quieter the preparation must become. Don't resist that holy rhythm. It's how heaven keeps you balanced while blessing flows through you. I've learned that the overflow isn't about abundance alone, it's about architecture. God builds capacity before He releases increase. That's why this current acceleration feels both exhilarating and weighty. It's the responsibility of carrying something bigger than yourself. And even as heaven amplifies your influence, the Spirit is whispering, "Stay small in soul, stay wide in love." The stage He's giving you is not for self-display, it's for spiritual distribution. You are being positioned as a bridge between heaven and earth, not a monument to be admired, but a conduit to be used. Be careful in this overflow to remember the purpose of your oil. 2 Kings 4-3-7 tells the story of a widow whose small jar of oil filled every vessel she could find, but only until the last jar was brought. The oil stopped flowing when there was no more room. The miracle wasn't in the oil, it was in the capacity. The same is true for you. Keep making room. Expand your compassion, enlarge your patience, widen your mercy. Your increase will never outrun your capacity to love. And as the invitations begin to come, as voices rise to celebrate or critique, keep your focus steady. Some will come to celebrate you, others will come to study you. Both are allowed, but neither should distract you. The goal is not to prove yourself, it is to reveal God faithfully. There will be rooms where you speak, and others will listen, not because of eloquence, but because of essence. The peace you carry will quiet storms. The wisdom you share will break patterns. The glow upon your life will do the preaching long before your words begin. That's what it means to be a vessel of divine overflow. So, chosen one, protect your light but don't hide it. Let it guide, not blind. Let it comfort, not control. The attention you receive is not affirmation, it's assignment. The doors opening before you are not coincidence, they are confirmation. Heaven is announcing that your obedience has matured into overflow, and that the world is now ready to witness what God has been cultivating within you all along. You won't need to chase what's next, because what's next has already recognized your voice. The footsteps of destiny are echoing in your direction. Stay guarded, stay aligned, stay faithful. For you are not just stepping into opportunity, you are stepping into orchestration. And when you arrive, you'll realize everything was already prepared, waiting for your presence to unlock the next miracle. You are not just chosen, you are entrusted. Chosen one, when you step into these new spaces, walk with quiet confidence. Do not explain the favor that rests on your life. Embody it. Do not apologize for your light. Steward it. The same God who lifted you in private will sustain you in public. Every glance your reflection receives now carries divine intention. Some will stare without knowing why they cannot look away. But it's not you they're drawn to, it's the presence resting upon you. You have become a reflection of what heaven can do with a surrendered soul. Your life is no longer just a testimony, it's a living translation of grace. You didn't come this far by striving, you came by surviving. That glow upon your face is not success, it's sanctification. It's the visible residue of invisible victories. It's proof that grace wins battles silence never spoke of. So, lift your head, chosen one. This is not arrogance, it's awareness. You are walking in divine timing, in a rhythm that was written long before your first breath. This is your unveiling. Heaven is whispering, now is the time. The unveiling has begun, but the fullness is still forming. You can feel it, can't you? The air around you feels charged alive with quiet anticipation. Conversations pause when you enter. People glance twice and don't even know why. It's not your appearance that arrests them, it's the aroma of heaven that lingers around your obedience. Heaven's signal has gone out, and the world is responding. You were anointed in silence, but now that oil carries fragrance, it's spreading, it's drawing what belongs to you. Divine timing is now colliding with divine identity, and that collision is creating destiny. The weight you carried wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You weren't delayed, you were being developed. Every disappointment wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Each detour was divine calibration. You have been shaped by the unseen hand of God, and now that shaping has become visible. Your countenance tells the story of endurance, but your eyes reveal revelation. People don't know your history, yet they sense your authority. That's why some respect you without knowing why, while others resist you without understanding their own reaction. Both are confirmation that heaven has placed something upon you that cannot be ignored. Isaiah 43:4 says, "Since you are precious and honored in my sight, and because I love you, I will give people in exchange for you." The honor resting on you is not a human achievement, it's divine appointment. When I look back on my own journey, I see the same pattern. I remember walking into rooms where I felt invisible for years. I served quietly, prayed faithfully, waited patiently, and then, without warning, everything shifted. People began to see me differently, not because I had changed, but because heaven had decided the time of recognition had come. That's what's happening to you. Heaven's endorsement always precedes man's applause. The world is catching up to what God has known about you all along. But be careful, anointed one. Visibility brings weight. Every light also casts a shadow. Not everyone celebrating you will understand you, and not everyone resisting you will oppose you. Sometimes, resistance is just evidence that your presence carries power. Still, discernment must remain your companion. Don't confuse recognition with validation. Your identity isn't proven by attention, it's confirmed by peace. Philippians 4:7 promises, "The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." That peace will be your compass when applause and criticism sound the same. Stay anchored, stay grounded. Remember who refined you in the quiet before the crowd. The same God who marked you in private is the one sustaining you in public. Never forget that your glow is not for display, it's for direction. You are not decoration, you are declaration. The light on your life doesn't just illuminate your path, it guides others toward theirs. This is the intersection where spiritual authority meets divine timing. You are walking in a synchronization that no human strategy could have orchestrated. Opportunities are aligning that no networking could have manufactured. Rooms you once prayed to enter are now preparing seats for your arrival. Doors that remained closed for years are unlocking without your effort. And the beauty is, you won't have to strive. You won't have to chase what was already written in your name. Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a righteous person are ordered by the Lord." That means destiny is not random, it's rhythmic. Your life has been moving to a heavenly cadence, and now the tempo has quickened. Heaven is not improvising, it's conducting. You are walking in a score that was composed in eternity, and every note of obedience has led to this divine crescendo. Still, remember that divine elevation requires human humility. The higher you rise, the lower you must bow. Jesus himself, though exalted, washed the feet of those who would soon abandon him. His power was proven not by how high he ascended, but by how deeply he served. Luke 14:11 declares, Those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Let humility be your rhythm. Let gratitude be your song. Chosen one, you are now stepping into sacred spaces where your presence itself is prophetic. The way you move, the way you speak, the way you remain calm in chaos, all of it is ministry. People will feel peace before they even understand why. Your stillness will heal. Your obedience will unlock others' destinies. You've become a vessel through which heaven can move freely. This is what it looks like when divine timing collides with divine identity. The glow upon you is not random, it's refined. It carries the essence of endurance and the fragrance of faith. That's why some are drawn to you and others are unsettled by you. Light exposes what's hidden, even unintentionally. Your presence will bring comfort to some and conviction to others, and both are necessary. John 1-5 says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." You are walking proof of that verse. And so, as you continue forward, do not dim your light to make others comfortable. Do not shrink your calling to match someone else's expectations. You've been refined for this rhythm, designed for this unveiling. Heaven is not only revealing you, it's revealing itself through you. The rooms you walk into are not destinations, they are assignments. The attention you receive is not for validation, it's for visibility so that others can witness what God can do with a surrendered life. Lift your head, chosen one. The rhythm has already been written, and your name is in the melody. Every step you take is a note in heaven's song. The unveiling is here, the timing is now, and the same hand that shaped you in silence is conducting your emergence in sound. You are not striving, you are synchronizing. You are not proving, you are fulfilling. And every time your presence shifts a room, heaven smiles, for creation itself recognizes the sound of one walking in divine alignment. The unveiling has begun, the fullness is still forming, and you, chosen one, are the living evidence that divine timing never misses its cue. The favor on your life will speak louder than any resume ever could. You will walk into places and feel the atmosphere shift before you even open your mouth. That's not coincidence, that's covenant. What you carry is rare, it's heavy, it's holy. It's meant to awaken something in others, so don't hide it because it unsettles people, and don't shrink it because they can't define it. The anointing on your life was never designed to make sense. It was designed to make impact. You have been chosen to stand where others hesitated, to glow where others dimmed, to speak when others stayed silent, and even when you don't speak, heaven still does. Every glance, every step, every quiet moment preaches something eternal. You don't need to try to be noticed, you already are. What rests on your life cannot be ignored. The glory upon you has its own voice, declaring to the world that God still writes miracles into human skin. Stay faithful in this unfolding. The world isn't merely seeing you, they are seeing God through you, and that's exactly how heaven intended it. Chosen one, the light on your life has reached a new dimension. You're no longer just being seen, you're being read. Every expression, every pause, every moment of stillness carries revelation. Even when you move quietly, heaven echoes through your presence. You have become a living scroll, a message written by fire and sealed by grace. That's why people pause when they see you. Something in their spirit whispers, "Pay attention." Don't mistake their curiosity for coincidence. The same God who once commanded light to shine out of darkness has placed that same brilliance within you. 2 Corinthians 4-6 says, "For God, who said, 'Let light shine out of darkness,' made his light shine in our hearts." You are heaven's confirmation in human form, living proof that survival can become strength, that silence can turn into power, that obscurity can birth overflow. The glow they notice is not vanity, it's victory. You've carried burdens that others never saw. You've walked through seasons when your reflection felt foreign, when you looked in the mirror and saw only exhaustion, but heaven saw evolution. God was transforming your image into evidence. Every tear, every whispered prayer, Every surrendered yes was painting glory across your countenance. Now you carry something that cannot be hidden. This is the hour of divine exposure, not the kind that seeks attention, but the kind that reveals purpose. Heaven never makes you visible to feed your ego. It makes you visible to fulfill your assignment. There are people tied to your light souls who will only find their way when they see you walking boldly in yours. Don't underestimate how powerful your presence has become. The same intensity that once made you feel misunderstood is now magnetizing divine connections. You are a lighthouse in motion, guiding others home without even realizing it. Matthew 5:14-16 reminds us, "You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." That is exactly what's happening now. I've seen this shift before, first in my own journey, then in the lives of others who were chosen. It always begins quietly, almost imperceptibly. People begin to look at you differently. Conversations include your name without your effort. Opportunities find you without explanation. Old doors that once refused to open now swing wide as though they'd been waiting all along. It's because heaven has whispered your name into the ears of destiny. God has spoken your arrival into the hearts of those assigned to bless you. Revelation 3-8 captures this moment perfectly. "See, I have set before you an open door which no one can shut." Where? But remember this, chosen one, with visibility comes stewardship. The oil that rests upon your life is costly. It's not for display, it's for distribution. Be wise with your presence. You don't need to over-explain your glow to those who haven't earned proximity. Some will try to study your shine while ignoring your surrender. Let them. You never need to justify what God has already certified. The wise know that oil is precious only when it's preserved. Your face is no longer just a reflection, it's revelation, the silent sermon heaven is preaching through you. When people see you, they're reminded that divine timing is real, that miracles still manifest, that grace still glows on human faces. You are not here to compete. You are here to confirm that God keeps His promises. And now, the alignment you've been sensing is taking form. Recognition is turning into invitation, and invitation into elevation. What you prayed for in hidden seasons is being magnetized to the light you carry now. Yet even in this acceleration, patience must remain your posture. Don't rush the moment, steward it. Heaven never promotes without purpose, and your purpose is still unfolding in real time. Habakkuk 2-3 assures us, "The vision is for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, it will surely come." What's happening to you now is not imagination, it's manifestation. You've crossed the invisible threshold between waiting and walking. The same spirit that once prepared you in silence is now propelling you into visibility. Still, guard your heart. Not every audience is an ally, and not every platform is a promise. Stay grounded in gratitude and clothed in humility. Let your peace speak louder than your performance. The attention will come, but don't mistake it for approval. True validation still comes from the voice that called you in the dark. Psalm 75-6-7 says, "Promotion comes neither from the east nor the west, but God is the judge. He puts down one and lifts another. Every elevation remains His decision, not yours to earn." So walk softly, chosen one, carrying this awareness like a sacred garment. You are not striving, you are synchronizing with heaven's rhythm. You are not chasing recognition, you are walking in revelation. The favor on your life will continue to speak in places your words could never reach. Let the glory on you do the talking. And when people feel peace just by being near you, let them know they are encountering a reflection of the one who called you by name. The covenant still holds, the oil still flows, the glow still speaks. And you, yes, you are living evidence that divine timing never forgets its promise. The very atmosphere has begun to respond to your presence because heaven has authorized your movement. Every step you take now carries weight. Every space you enter seems to recognize something sacred before you even speak. This is not coincidence, it's confirmation. It is the evidence of divine favor made visible, and it's not temporary. This is assignment in motion, destiny revealing itself in real time. The whispers around you are not gossip, they are acknowledgement. The same people who once overlooked you are now quietly aware that something about you has changed. It's not pride, they sense its power wrapped in peace. The calm that surrounds you confuses them, but that calm is the mark of one who has walked through storms and learned who commands the wind. You don't need to explain your glow, you've already lived your explanation. The anointing you carry now is not theory, it's testimony. You see, God often reveals his chosen ones through presence before promotion. The visibility you are walking in now is heaven's way of saying, preparation is complete. Every trial that once embarrassed you is now being used to endorse you. Every wound that once weakened you has become a window through which glory shines. The moments that broke you were actually building your radiance. The prayers you thought went unanswered have returned as divine appointments. The doors you thought were locked were simply waiting for this authorization. Heaven is introducing you before you even arrive. I know that moment well. I've lived it. The quiet realization that something in the unseen had shifted, that the world didn't need an announcement because heaven had already whispered the news. Suddenly favor began to find me. Conversations became keys. People I had never met felt compelled to help, to make room, to speak my name in spaces I'd never entered. That's when I realized it was never about charm or effort, it was about obedience. Because when God says, now, even the wind carries your name. That's what's happening for you now, chosen one. It's not chance, it's covenant. The alignment you feel is not random energy, it's divine endorsement. You are moving in rhythm with a plan that was established long before your first breath. Isaiah 22:22 says, "The key of David I will place on his shoulder. What he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open." That is your current reality. Heaven has turned the key. But let me remind you, visibility without humility leads to vanity. Guard your glow. This light was purchased with pain. Carry it gently. Don't allow applause to dilute your awareness of who authored your favor. Walk into rooms not to be admired, but to shift the atmosphere. When others see you, they aren't merely looking at a person, they are encountering a prophecy fulfilled. You are living evidence that the silent seasons were never wasted. Every scar on your heart is now a line in heaven's script. Every disappointment you endured became divine investment. Romans 8:18 says, "The sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us." That glory is now visible on you. You are walking in the harvest of your hidden obedience. Chosen one, what's rising upon your life now is divine economy, the supernatural transfer of what heaven promised into what earth can finally see. It's not just spiritual, it's tangible. Expect alignment to manifest in every dimension. In business, in relationships, in resources, in influence. Not because you chase them, but because they were designed to chase you. Favor recognizes purpose. The right doors have already received instruction to open on your behalf. The right hearts are preparing to receive you. The right voices are being positioned to speak your name at the right moment. This is the hour where the unseen becomes undeniable. What was invisible in you is now irresistible around you. Even creation is cooperating with your calling. Psalm 5:12 declares, "For you, Lord, will bless the righteous. With favor you will surround them as with a shield." That's what's happening. You're surrounded. You've stepped into a current of divine orchestration, and the current itself is carrying you. And yet, as your favor multiplies, so must your focus. You will feel the pull of attention and expectation. Some will come to celebrate you, others to study you. Not all admiration is affirmation. That's why discernment must remain your companion. Don't allow curiosity to become distraction. Guard the atmosphere of your mind as carefully as you guard your anointing. Remember that peace is the proof of presence. When something disturbs that peace, step back into stillness, because stillness is where clarity speaks. I've seen many begin to glow and lose their grounding because they mistook the stage for the source. But you, chosen one, you know better. The same God who raised you will sustain you. 1 Peter 5-6 says, "Humble yourselves under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time." Your due time has arrived, but your humility will keep it holy. Heaven is not just promoting you, it is positioning you. You are being strategically placed where your presence will unlock provision for others. You are not simply blessed, you are entrusted. When you walk into those boardrooms, stages, conversations, or homes, remember, you're carrying an atmosphere. Every breath, every glance, every word is ministry now. The atmosphere recognizes what the world cannot define. That's why it shifts before you speak. You are walking proof that divine timing cannot be delayed forever. The process you once resented has become the platform you now stand on. You were hidden to be honed, delayed to be developed, silenced to be strengthened. And now, when you speak, even heaven leans in. Do not take this lightly. The glow upon you is sacred. You are the living bridge between promise and manifestation. You are the vessel through which divine favor flows into visible form. The world may call it luck, coincidence, or charisma, but you know better. It's covenant, it's alignment, it's the visible evidence of an invisible God keeping his word. So, walk carefully, move deliberately, carry peace like armor and humility like fragrance. Let your presence continue to preach the sermon your words could never hold. The atmosphere knows who you are now, and it responds accordingly. This is not imagination, it's manifestation. You have crossed the invisible threshold between waiting and walking, between preparation and presentation. Heaven has authorized your movement, and the earth is bearing witness. Chosen one, this is the moment when divine favor becomes undeniable reality. You are not just moving in blessing, you are embodying it. Walk forward in quiet confidence, knowing that everything around you is beginning to respond to the authority of your obedience. The unseen has become undeniable, and the undeniable is now unstoppable. The opportunities forming around you right now were written into your destiny long before you ever took your first breath. Before you knew how to dream, heaven had already documented your arrival. Every open door that surprises you today was sealed with divine intention in eternity. No human system, no earthly structure, no circumstance can resist what heaven has already stamped as fulfilled. That's why even your reflection carries authority. It tells the world that God's hand is here. So, chosen one, walk with assurance, not arrogance, but the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you were chosen, refined, and released for such a time as this. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. You are already proof. You are living evidence that the waiting season was never wasted. Every moment that felt like delay was really design. The promise is no longer coming, it's here. It's been staring back at you through the light reflected on your own face. Heaven is not preparing you anymore, it's presenting you. The process that once felt endless has served its purpose. The refining fire has done its work. What remains is gold, pure, unmistakable, unshakable, and undeniable. That's why the atmosphere around you feels different now. You are walking in fulfillment, not formation. What was once hidden potential has become visible evidence. You have become the testimony heaven wrote long before the world learned your name. Everywhere you go, divine timing walks beside you. Have you noticed it? The way conversations seem orchestrated, how the right opportunities arrive without striving, how moments align as if unseen hands are arranging them. That's not coincidence, it's command. Heaven has entered your timeline. The glow others notice on your face isn't vanity, it's verification. It's the reflection of prophecy fulfilled. You are living proof that patience was preparation, and obedience was strategy. You are not just being elevated, you are being established. This is not a fleeting season of attention, it is a foundation being laid for impact. You were never called to temporary influence, but to eternal effect. You are not here to be popular, you are here to be permanent. The energy people feel when they encounter you isn't emotion, it's encounter. They are brushing against the residue of divine frequency. Everything aligned with heaven recognizes it. That's why rooms quiet when you walk in, why conversations pause mid-sentence, why eyes follow you even when mouths stay silent. You're not being watched, you're being witnessed. Heaven is confirming publicly what it has long affirmed privately. Psalm 23:5 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows." This is that table, this is the overflow. You are standing in answered prayers you once whispered through tears. I remember walking through this same phase in my own journey, the quiet disorientation of being recognized for something I hadn't yet spoken aloud. It felt unfamiliar to be seen, even unsettling at first. But God reminded me, I'm letting your presence speak because your words were already tested. That's exactly where you are now. Heaven trusts your silence because it knows what you carry. You've been proven in private, and now grace has made you undeniable in public. Luke 16:10 echoes this truth. Whoever can be trusted with little can also be trusted with much. You were faithful in obscurity, and now heaven has expanded your influence. Still, be wise in this visibility. Not everyone who praises your glow will honor your oil. Some will see the light but not understand the labor that birthed it. The glow on your face is not fashion, it's formation. The light you carry is not decoration, it's declaration. Walk gently, guard your spirit. The same grace that made you visible will keep you grounded if you remain surrendered. James 4:10 says, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up." The same humility that sustained you in private will protect you in public. Chosen one, you are now living what others only prophesied. You are standing inside your own answered prayer. But the beauty of this moment is that heaven's fulfillment doesn't end with you, it flows through you. You are being established not only to be blessed, but to become a blessing. This new visibility is an invitation into stewardship, not self-celebration. You carry influence, yes, but more importantly, you carry impartation. The light upon you is meant to ignite others. Every glance they give you is not admiration, it's awakening. When they look at you, something eternal stirs within them. Hope reawakens, faith rises again. Their spirit whispers, if God could do it for them, he could do it for me. That's your ministry now. You are a walking reflection of what happens when surrender meets divine timing. And even as heaven expands your reach, remain anchored in stillness. Visibility can be noisy, but presence remains quiet. You don't have to chase the crowd. The called will find you. Isaiah 60:3 declares, "Nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your dawn." That's not a metaphor anymore, that's manifestation. The dawn has come, and the light is you. The atmosphere recognizes what God has done in you. That's why doors open before you touch them. That's why peace follows you like a shadow. You are walking in alignment with a timeline heaven authored, and the earth is now catching up to. It's why favor feels effortless, because effort was never your assignment. Obedience was. Chosen one, never forget that what's happening around you is the visible translation of what's already true in heaven. You are not chasing opportunities. Opportunities are tracing you. You are not finding favor. Favor is finding you. Because when God authorizes your movement, even time rearranges itself to make room for your arrival. So walk forward, not with pride, but with peace, not with self-importance, but with divine assurance. You are not an accident, you are architecture. You are heaven's design, now fully realized. You've crossed from promise into proof, from prophecy into presence. The waiting was worth it, the refining was necessary. And now, chosen one, The unveiling is complete. The glow on your face is the gospel in motion. The world is not just seeing you, they're seeing what God can do with a surrendered life. The promise didn't just come to pass, it came through you. Some will admire your presence without ever understanding your process. Others will feel inspired by your strength, yet still not ready to carry the same weight. That's perfectly all right. You were never called to be understood. You were called to be light. Just as a lamp doesn't argue with the darkness, your only responsibility is to shine. You don't need to explain the glow. You don't need to defend the grace. Let your consistency preach louder than your explanations. Because what's unfolding now is not coincidence, it's covenant. The financial and spiritual transfer heaven promised long ago is now shifting into position. Streams of provision are forming around you, not because you demanded them, but because you have become trustworthy. Heaven funds integrity. When God identifies stewardship, increase becomes a reflex. Chosen one, this is the stage where favor feels effortless, not because it's easy, but because it's earned. Proverbs 10:22 says, "The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and he adds no sorrow with it." You've endured the refining, and now the release is beginning. You will start to notice unusual favor, unexpected calls, sudden approvals, quiet endorsements, emails that open new doors, conversations that connect you to destiny. This is how God funds purpose, through divine recognition. Don't fear this expansion. It's not an accident, it's an alignment. The same God who covered you in obscurity is covering you now in opportunity. You're not losing protection, you're gaining purpose. Every open door has been pre-guarded. Every assignment comes with angels already stationed. Psalm 91:11 promises, "He will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways. So walk boldly." Not carelessly, but confidently. You're not stepping into risk, you're stepping into revelation. Your name is echoing in unseen places right now. Heaven is whispering it into the hearts of those assigned to favor you. People you've never met are preparing to meet you. Your reflection, your reputation, wrapped in righteousness, has already gone ahead of you. It's softening hearts, preparing introductions, aligning resources. You don't have to chase it, you just have to step into it. This isn't fame, it's fulfillment. Fame fades, but fulfillment multiplies. You are not being promoted to be admired, you are being positioned to be effective. The promise hasn't been lost, it has found you. Deuteronomy 28:2 says, "All these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you if you obey the voice of the Lord." That's what's happening now. Blessing is overtaking you. And heaven refuses to let the world forget your light. You are not being exalted for display, you are being revealed for destiny. What people see on you now is not achievement, it's alignment. The glow upon your life is not a spotlight, it's a signal that heaven has kept its word. This is why stillness matters in this season. You've come through the wilderness, and now you stand in the garden of divine manifestation. Don't rush through it. Let yourself feel the fulfillment of what you once begged God for. Let gratitude rise louder than ambition, because this final phase is not about striving, it's about standing. Ephesians 6:13 says, "Having done all, stand." You've already fought the battles, weathered the storms, cried the prayers, and carried the weight. Now it's time to stand steady, surrendered, secure. Everything that once felt delayed has aligned. The pieces that didn't make sense in isolation are forming a masterpiece. You are not waiting for your season, you are in it. Chosen one, this is the rhythm of completion. You've walked faithfully through hiddenness, refinement, unveiling, and now manifestation. You're living in the overlap of promise and performance, where heaven's word becomes earth's witness. The same voice that called you out of obscurity is now calling you into overflow. The transition you feel isn't pressure, it's purpose. When heaven shifts a vessel, it expands the territory around it. That's what's happening. You are not just moving forward, everything connected to you is moving with you. Family lines, communities, ideas and legacies are being lifted by your obedience. You are the seed of transformation God planted in the soil of time. But even as you bloom, remain rooted. Never confuse success with stability. Stability is what you built in the silence. Success is simply what stability looks like in motion. Colossians 2:7 says, "Let your roots grow down into Him, and your lives be built on Him." The deeper your roots in gratitude, the higher your reach in grace. Chosen one, you've learned by now that the path to glory is paved with grace, not performance. The peace you feel isn't relief, it's recognition. Heaven recognizes its own work, and that's what's happening around you. The world is finally seeing what God has been shaping for years. Your reflection is no longer a mystery, it's ministry. People will stand near you and feel peace without knowing why. They will see light and not realize they're witnessing prophecy fulfilled. Because when divine timing meets divine identity, visibility becomes inevitable. You are walking proof that patience is not weakness and obedience is not delay. Every not yet has turned into a now. And as this phase unfolds, let humility and gratitude remain your companions. They are the armor that protects your oil. The more heaven elevates you, the lower your posture must become. Kneel often. Worship quietly. Give generously. Because visibility without reverence leads to emptiness, but visibility with gratitude multiplies impact. This is not the ending of your story, it's the emergence of its purpose. The light on your life is steady now. It doesn't flicker with fear or dim under doubt. It's consistent because it's consecrated. You are walking in rhythm with the one who wrote your name into eternity's plan. So, stand still, stand strong, stand grateful. You're no longer striving to arrive, you are standing in the promise. Heaven is no longer preparing you, it's presenting you. The wilderness has done its work. The fire has refined the gold. And now the light that once flickered in hidden places is shining for the world to see. You are not waiting for your season, you are living it. The favor you once prayed for is now surrounding you like air unseen, yet undeniable. You've become the living evidence that what God begins, He finishes. Look around you, the signs are everywhere. People who once overlooked you are being reminded of your name. Opportunities are finding you without your pursuit. Hearts that once turned away are now softening toward you. That's not flattery, that's fulfillment. Heaven has activated the recognition attached to your destiny. You're no longer walking toward your promise is walking toward you. This glow you carry is not decoration, it's documentation. It tells the story of fire that did not consume you, of tears that became oil, of silence that became strategy. You're not wearing this light, it grew from within you. Every battle built a layer of brilliance, every heartbreak refined your hue, every no taught you to wait for a divine yes. And now that light has become so palpable that even strangers can feel it before they see it. But remember this, anointed one, visibility is not victory, obedience is. God didn't bring you this far to impress people, He brought you here to influence them. The reason they stare, the reason they whisper, the reason they remember you is because your life has become a sermon without words. Every glance toward your reflection preaches a message no microphone could contain, that God still restores, still elevates, still redeems. That is your assignment, to embody proof that heaven keeps its promises. You are not simply telling people about His faithfulness, you are showing them. The light on your life is the living gospel written across your countenance. 2 Corinthians 3:3 says, "You are a letter from Christ, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God." You, chosen one, are heaven's handwritten testimony. I know the tension you feel, the quiet pressure that comes with recognition. I know how tempting it is to shrink under the weight of attention, to feel unworthy of the unfolding, to wonder if maybe you've been elevated too soon. I've felt that too. But grace isn't given to the perfect, it's poured upon the prepared. And you, chosen one, are prepared. You have been tested by time, tempered by loss, and trained by faith. You've proven you can carry the weight of glory without breaking under the gaze of man. That's why heaven trusts you with recognition. It knows you won't worship the light, only the one who gave it. 1 Peter 5:10 declares, "After you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you." That's exactly what's happening right now. So, walk boldly, speak softly, move intentionally. The world is about to experience the God in you before they ever hear you mention his name. Your presence will do the talking, your peace will do the teaching, your prosperity will do the preaching. You have entered the phase where favor replaces effort and grace multiplies everything your hands touch. Deuteronomy 28:12 promises, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to bless all the work of your hands." That blessing has begun. The whispers about you are turning into testimonies. Every conversation that carries your name is becoming a seed, and those seeds are sprouting into visibility, influence, and inheritance. This is divine economy in motion, the wealth transfer of wisdom, opportunity, and resource. It's not only financial, though it will touch your finances. It's relational, spiritual, and generational. You'll see it in open doors, divine alignments, and restored relationships. But most of all, you'll feel it, the peace of someone walking fully in purpose. You are no longer hidden, you are heralded. Heaven has placed its final signature on your story. The glow upon your face is the seal of completion, heaven's confirmation that the waiting is over. The wilderness has done its work, and now the garden is in bloom. Isaiah 61:3 says, "He has given them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness." Look at you now, you're wearing every word of that verse. Walk with confidence, because creation itself has been waiting for this version of you. Romans 8:19 whispers, "The creation waits in eager expectation for the revealing of the sons and daughters of God." This is that moment. The unveiling is complete. The prophecy has taken form. You are not here to be seen. You are here to be remembered. The glory upon you will outlive applause. Chosen one, this is heaven's final whisper for this moment. What's resting on your life is not imagination, it's manifestation. You are standing in your Kairos hour, the divine intersection where waiting meets fulfillment, where prayers turn into presence. This is not the someday you once longed for. This is the now you were prepared for. When you move now, heaven moves with you. When you speak, atmospheres align. When you rest, the earth adjusts around your obedience. That's the kind of authority you carry, quiet, unforced, undeniable. The weight on you isn't a burden anymore, it's glory translated into grace. You are walking proof that delay is not denial, that silence is not absence, that pruning was preparation. And so, as you stand in this sacred hour, let every breath become worship. Let every step echo gratitude. You are not striving anymore, you are shining. The same God who saw you in the shadows is now showing you in the light, not to display your power, but to demonstrate his promise. The heaven you once prayed to is now working through you. You've become the intersection of prophecy and presence. The glow on your face is not a reflection of success, it's the radiance of surrender. The world is not witnessing achievement, it's witnessing alignment. This is your Kairos moment, God's perfect timing, colliding with your prepared heart. The waiting has turned into walking, and walking has turned into witnessing. Heaven has spoken, and now it speaks through you. You are not chasing the promise anymore, you are carrying it, and the earth can feel it. Chosen one, if these words have found their way to you, it's not by accident, it's alignment. Somewhere between your silence and your surrender, heaven whispered your name. You've walked through the hidden years, the refining fire, the unveiling, and now the fulfillment. You've seen how God can take what was once overlooked and turn it into overflow. You've felt the weight of waiting and now the warmth of becoming. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of your influence. You are the living proof that divine timing never fails. Every scar has become a scripture, every tear has turned to testimony. The light that once flickered in isolation is now illuminating nations. So, as you step into what's next, remember this. Your glow is not just yours to keep. It's heaven's invitation for others to believe again. You are a mirror of mercy, a reflection of restoration, and a voice that carries hope without speaking a word. If this message has touched something within you, if it reminded you that your waiting is not wasted, that your purpose still breathes, then let your response become part of the ministry. Leave a comment below and share your story. Tell us what season you're walking through, so this space can remain a gathering of chosen ones walking together. Like this video, share it with someone who needs light today, and subscribe if you'd like to walk with us through the next revelation heaven unfolds. To every soul who has supported this channel, whether through a super thanks, a prayer, a share, or simply by listening, you are part of this divine echo. Your presence here is not just support, it's partnership in purpose. You are helping to spread the language of light, to send messages like this into hearts that are quietly praying for confirmation. Thank you for your faith, your encouragement, your unseen kindness. None of it goes unnoticed, not by us and not by God. As you leave this moment and return to your world, may you carry peace that cannot be shaken. May grace surround you like breath itself. May every place your feet step recognize the presence of heaven within you. When you wake tomorrow, may the same light that found you here continue to guide you there. And when you face uncertainty, may you remember, chosen ones are never abandoned, they are always aligned. May favor go before you, mercy follow behind you, and joy find you in the in-between. May your reflection continue to preach louder than your words. May everything your hands touch prosper, and may your heart stay soft enough to feel God even in the noise. You are not forgotten. You are not finished. You are fulfilled. Until we meet again in the next chapter, walk with quiet confidence and radiant faith. Heaven has spoken, and now it's speaking through you.